Hi guys, this is David and welcome back to the channel. You guys are watching Riverfront Aquatics, and today I'm going to show you how to build your own brine shrimp hatchery. Alright guys, welcome back. Well, let's dig into making the brine shrimp hatchery now. So as you can see, the hole is cut into the bottom so you can add your water, your salt, and your eggs to be able to hatch them. On this side you have your hose, just basically regular airline tubing through the cap. That way when you settle it out to the bottom, you can actually harvest them through here by the turn of the knob. And I will show you how to make this here in just 1 second. Next, you are going to want this little piece. This is a valve which you can open and close, and you can use it to harvest your brine shrimp and keep the water in when you are allowing them to hatch. You can get them at Meijer. I got it in a pack with airline tubing and everything for like $3. Okay. Next, to drill the lid, to be able to put the airline tubing in, you want a 1/4 inch drill bit to just be able to drill through the lid, and I'll show you how to do that. And then you can use scissors or whatever else, but I have found that if you use an X-Acto knife, I got this just at Dollar Tree and it worked the last time I used it. You can use one of these. Also, just be advised, kids, if you're going to do this, ask your parents for permission and help to do so you don't cut yourself or hurt yourself with the drill and or the blades. So when you go to cut the bottom of the bottle, you want to use that X-Acto knife, and you want to cut just on the inside of where that lip is. That's so you can retain that rigidity in the bottle and it's not all flimsy depending on what you have it mounted with. So let me show you how to cut this. Alright, so you want to insert your X-Acto knife into about right there area, and you just want to go around and cut around it following this lip line. I will see you back in a second once I am done with mine. Alright, so don't mind, you might get like a couple nicks here and there outside of the circle. It's okay. I did it to mine, but it still means the same as long as you don't go past it too far. And then you'll have your lid. Looks something about like that. You can use it when you're hatching them to cover it for humidity purposes. That's up to your choosing. I do sometimes, but again, it's up to you. So now we'll go on to doing the cap, and I will show you how to do that. So you want to take the cap off the bottle, or you can leave it on the bottle to drill it in. It's up to you really. I take it off, it's just easier because it moves. So you want to drill about right there on that dot, right there in the middle, and it's usually the best place to do it. So be right back and I'll do it real quick and then we'll come right back. Alright, now you should have something about like that. So it's a 1/4 hole, 1/4 inch of a hole, and that is about the diameter of the outside of the airline tubing you're going to put in. Alright, so now it should be in there, and you should have a decent fit. So then you want to take this, and you want to take your little valve. And it doesn't matter if it's open or closed at this point, but usually it's closed when you buy it. You want to take it on this end of the cap and the airline, and you want to just go ahead and shove it on in there, just like that. And it don't really matter which way you have it turned, as just long as you can access it. So, and then you can go ahead and take your bottle that you've already cut the bottom out of and everything else, and you just want to go ahead and put the cap back on there, sure it's nice and tight, make sure the airline stays in there, and you have yourself a brine shrimp hatchery. And in the next part of the video, I will show you it up and operational and how you put the brine shrimp in and how you go about hatching them. But this is a simple DIY little brine shrimp hatchery that works. And these bottles are like, I think I got this one for $2.50. Airline I already had. Like I said, I got this for $3 at Myers. And yeah, basically you get some baby brine to feed your fish and or feed your little baby fry that you have, so that way you can spawn some more. So alright, for the next part of the video I'll show you this up and operational. Alright guys, let's get back into the video here. So I told you I was going to show you how to basically set up and run the brine shrimp hatchery itself. I would run this one, but I'm not going to myself because I have this. I'm still going to show you how to do it for yourself, but I will fill this up to the water line that you need to use, and then I'll show you in this one how you go about basically setting up the brine shrimp and what you would do to basically hatch them out. So I set mine right about here, just because when it's bubbling you don't want the brine shrimp to be able to come out, nor do you want the overflowing or bubbling action to cause the water to come out. Also, for this one, to be able to get the air to go into it, you can take the end of the airline tubing from a pump and you can put it into this valve here, and when you put it in, basically go ahead and open the valve, and when you do that, you should, the air is high enough, you should start to be able to get bubbles coming out. And when the bubbles come up, they will take the brine shrimp, which I will show you in here, will take it and turn it and allow them to rotate to be able to hatch better. Okay guys, so the next thing, I already went ahead and filled up my container. You can use room temp water. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I use hot water. I know you're not technically supposed to, because that can damage some of the eggs and lower your hatch rate or whatever, but to be honest, I get the best hatch rate out of it. Some people just let it warm to room temperature, some people just basically use just plain warm water from the faucet. Either way you like, it doesn't really matter. I use hot, it cools down gradually, and the eggs, I get a tremendous hatch rate. So next I'll show you the eggs that I use. Alright, so the eggs that I use are from Aquarium Co-op. You can get ones from Brine Shrimp Direct, you can get them from San Francisco Bay, but I use the Aquarium Co-op. Very good hatch rate. I think they're 95% hatch rate. I believe you can watch videos through Aquarium Co-op's channel and on them, but I like them, and it's a very good brine shrimp, and my fish and fry absolutely love them. So next I'm going to show you how to get the brine shrimp going and setting it up completely. So when you want to go ahead and start setting up, you want to go ahead and use basic aquarium salt. If you're low on minerals in your water, you can use marine salt, or you can use aquarium salt and use a little bit of baking soda for a buffer. My water here runs decent, so I just use 2 tablespoons of the aquarium salt. I just right into the container, and then usually I will allow it to bubble to mix it up, but for the sake of the video I am going to just go ahead and show you how to add the brine shrimp and how much to add. So if you get the Aquarium Co-op brine shrimp from their website, they come in a pouch just like this, and usually it's filled up to about here. You also come with this spoon, which I do believe is a 1 tablespoon spoon, and you want to use about 1 1/4 of these in there, and you just scoop it and directly put it into the container, and then I'll show you what to go from there. So you just there's 1 and about 1/4-ish, and then I'll close it back up, put it back in the container, back in the fridge, and then I'll show you what to do next. So next you just want to take the lid with your means of getting air into it. This one comes with rigid airline tubing, and the air port is on the top. You just want to put it back on there, and then you want to go ahead and allow your air to go, and you'll notice that as the air goes, the brine shrimp will start to churn and cycle through the entire container. And usually I hatch out between 24-36 hours and I get a good hatch. So they will go through this process for that length of time, and usually by then it'll get darker. As of right now you can see it's clear, but as time goes on it'll get darker as it starts to fill up with brine shrimp, and then the egg carcasses will start to go to the top. And then in the next part of the video I will show you how to harvest these in the next day or so. Alright guys, welcome back. Well, now today is the day that we are going to go ahead and collect the brine shrimp. It has been now 48 hours, and as you can tell it has gotten darker, so they are ready to collect, and I'm going to show you how to do that process in this part of the video. So let's get ready to get started. Alright, now that I have went ahead and did that, I went ahead and took the lid off so that the line is out of it and everything else. So you're going to want to take your light, and if you're using this one, clip it onto something, and you're going to want to take it and put it right about there towards the bottom so that they all funnel down to here. And of course you're going to want the light off, that way that only light they have is that, and they get attracted to it and go down towards it. So yeah, here in about 5-10 minutes is how long it takes, and once that is done I'll come back and show you them all settled down to the bottom. Alright, as you can see, they have officially collected all to the bottom of the container. Yes, you're going to get some that are free floating still, but the majority of them are at the bottom of the container. So now I will show you how to collect them, and here we go. Alright, so when you go to collect them, you do have this spout here at the bottom. I like to take a hose and add it to it so that way it gets directly into the container and I'm not trying to fight it or take it out of this holder. So I just put this on there. On the other build, the one that I showed you how to build, it's a lot easier to do, and like I said, if you guys let me know if you want to watch that, I'll show you how to use that one instead of this one. But for the sake of the video, I just wanted to show you how to make the brine shrimp and what to do exactly. So you're just going to take it, put it on the bottom, right over the nip, and then you're going to want a container either 1 or 2 quarts. This holds 2 quarts of water, but depending on how much water you want to take out of it is how big of a container you want. I'm only going to take out about 1 quart of water because it's going to take out the majority of the brine shrimp. So let me show you that process real quick. Alright, so you're going to want to take this knob here, slowly open it. Oop. It'd help if I opened it the right way, I guess. You're going to slowly open it, and then you're going to notice it's just starting to flow out. Now it'll flow out into the container, and you'll start to collect the brine shrimp into the container. And once I have them all collected, I will come back. Alright guys, you can actually see how much actually came out of that entire container of brine shrimp. There is a lot. It is all orange up in there. And that is a crap ton of brine shrimp. That's about the hatch rate I get with using the hot water with the aquarium co-op. Brine shrimp, it's a very good hatch rate. And usually, once you're done hatching or collecting, you want to get it down to where you're only got the eggs left. Sometimes I'll even waste some of the brine shrimp just because I don't want them to get mixed with the eggs. I mean, the eggs aren't harmful to the babies, but it's best if you don't have eggs. They really don't eat them, and they just rotten in the tank. So it's best if you try and keep them as much as possible in the container when you collect the brine shrimp. So what you're going to want to do next, some people don't even really sieve them out. They just feed them straight to their fish. I like to sieve mine out because I store mine in the refrigerator. I just use this old coffee filter. I just pour it in there. The water can pass through, but the brine shrimp does not. It's very, very good and useful, and some people just do it to get the salt water and the ammonia and everything because they don't like putting it in their tank. I don't do it for that purpose. I do it so that they have good fresh water when they go into the refrigerator. So I'm going to go ahead and sieve it real fast, and honestly you just pour it in there. Just slowly but surely pour it in there. Just allow it to go through. Just let it sit and let the water come out of it, getting the rest of the brine shrimp out of there. And then I usually let it sit for a minute or two just to basically, you know, get the water out of it, let it drain out. And then I'll go ahead and do the next step here in a second once that's done. So when I feed, like I said, I just put them in the refrigerator after I feed some of them. I put them in this container. It's just a normal squirt bottle. I'll use a funnel to funnel them in, and then I'll fill it all the way up, and then I'll just go ahead and feed some of it to them, and then I just store it in the refrigerator. So let me go ahead and show you that real fast. So just take them, go ahead and just dump them in. Use a little bit of water to wash them up. Dump them in, wash them up, dump them in, and then I'll just normally just add some water to fill it up, and then right about there I'll screw the cap on, and then I will go ahead and feed this to some of my fish. Okay, you're just going to basically want to clean everything from the old brine shrimp eggs, because if you don't, it will smell terrible. Smell like a seafood place that died in your house. So I just rinse it under some warm hot water. I'll rinse out the line, and I'll take the container off, and I'll dump the eggs down the sink, and I will get my hands up in there, wipe it down, you want to make sure that you turn the valve. That way, whatever brine shrimp is left in here comes out. Because if you don't, that will smell terrible. Alright, well, after that is done, I just set it up on the counter to let it dry. Put the stand back, and that's basically it. Hi guys, thank you again for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any comments for future videos for us to do, please leave it in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you and have a great day.